As Cleveland gets set for the 2016 Republican National Convention, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there has opened this new exhibit highlighting the intersection, or as I put it, the collision of rock music with politics, right? It is called Louder Than Words, Rock, Power, and Politics, and it looks at some of the biggest names in music and how their work reflected and influenced political topics throughout our country's past.
Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider helped launch that exhibit. He testified on Capitol Hill over censorship laws back in the 80s, and his stories and artifacts can be found in the new exhibit in Cleveland. But first, Dee joins us here at Post 9 for more. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here. That was not a wig. One of the biggest misperceptions is I wore a wig. It was my hair.
I can testify.
It's fantastic.
That you still got the hair.
Yeah, the follicles are there. If I take the product out, it's just all over the place.
So, is it that the music is influenced by politics, or do you want to influence politics with the music? How does that work?
You know, when I went to the exhibit, one of the first things they have on the wall is a timeline from 1955 to today, 2016, which is the years I've been alive. And it really seems that initially politics was getting involved with the music. A lot of concern, much as it was in the 80s, with the lyrical content, with the physical performances of Elvis Presley and things like that. So it seems like politics tried to meddle in the music before music meddled in politics.
Well, I was thinking about, we opened the show with your famous song, We're Not Gonna Take It.
Yes, the one.
And it echoes one of the most famous moments in film, which is Howard Beale's, I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's perhaps the most appropriate song to channel what's happening in politics today. Ironically, Donald Trump originally had your permission to use that in his rallies until you rescinded that. Is that right?
Yes, and first let me say, Donald's a great guy and a class act. He's one of the only people who ever called and asked permission to use the song. No, they usually politicians and sports teams, they just use it willy-nilly. Called me up, and he's a friend, and he just started, he hadn't even started campaigning. I'm like, all right, it's a song about rebellion. I know you're going to be raising some hell. Go for it. And then as the months went by and some of the things we never spoke about over drinks or dinner started coming out, and I called him up. I said, Donald, I can't endorse you here. I can't back your play.
But he didn't fight you on that.
No,
he
said
right?
fair enough, and stopped that night.
Yeah.
And I say he's a class guy. It was friend to friend. And, and I say to people, we all have friends that we have dinner with. We don't talk about politics, religion, or the wall. We talk about, you just have a great time together. So we're still hopefully friends, but he respected my wishes.
But we do find ourselves this political season especially where people are starting to broach those sensitive subjects where they wouldn't have otherwise because of the angst that we're all feeling about this season, right?
Yeah, one thing, Donald Trump is doing is shining a light on some subjects that have sort of been hiding in the shadows, and people are coming out because he's voicing he is the voice of a certain percentage of the population, and he's given a voice. And I think that's important. I think people need to be aware that these problems aren't solved. Just because we had a black president doesn't mean that racism is gone. For example.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's helped to shine a light, and I'm doing another version of We're Not Gonna Take It, releasing soon. Just a piano and vocal, very stark, very unplugged version with a new video that's going to be just sort of saying, hey, you know what, people, wake up. There's a lot of problems in the world, and they're not going to get better unless we're proactive.
Dee, thank you so much for making the time.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for the action to start happening. It's at any minute.
It will, actually, any minute now. And if you're real good, Dee will sometime tell you about the time his wife influenced the market and caused a bump. But we can't do that
Not now.
on family television here.
Great outfit.
Yeah, thanks very much,
Dee Snider. Thank you.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the eye right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.